Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Projects, where we dive into various projects around the home, from repairs and equipment to household upgrades. Today we're fixing a major missing component that all dump trailer owners need to do: sizing, selecting, and installing a load tarp. Unless yours came from the dealership with a tarp already, in which case you probably aren't watching this video. First up, let's talk about sizing. You need to know the width of your trailer measured from the inside walls of the trailer. The roller kits do have adjustment, but the tarp itself typically comes in 6-inch increments for width. What you want to watch out for is having a tarp wider than the roller, causing it to bunch up as you roll it up. Conversely, avoid having it too narrow and not getting the job done. Choosing a length is a little more forgiving. You need to at least have the length of your dump bed, and I would recommend at least a couple feet more to allow for taller loads you may want to run the tarp up and over. For this installation, I have a 6-foot wide and 12-foot long bed and have chosen a 6x14 tarp. There are many vendors and options available. Ultimately, I chose a basic kit off of Amazon, as I couldn't find the tarp I really wanted available in the 6-foot width. I did notice that as you go up in sizes, there are even more options available. The kit I chose came with the roller kit and the tarp, while achieving less than $200 price point. I also purchased the optional retention crossbow, as I find that is a really nice way to secure the tarp. I really like that this style trailer from Griffin Trailers comes with a built-in tarp housing that will help protect the tarp when the trailer is being loaded and keep a sleek look to it when stored. Also, due to this feature, I do not need the entire bracket that roller bearings came mounted to for this installation. Conveniently, the whole layouts are standardized, and all I have to do is take the brackets off of the bearings and then rebolt them to the trailer. With the bearings installed, next it is time to take a final measurement on the roller and mark the tubes to be cut down if needed. The rollers come in 3 pieces, 2 larger diameter pieces and 1 smaller diameter piece that slides inside the larger pieces. If you need to cut the roller down, take half the distance off each of the 2 larger pieces to center the joint. I took an extra inch to allow room to manipulate the smaller piece while assembling the roller on the trailer later. With the roller tubes cut down, it's time to assemble. I marked a line on one half of the smaller tube to identify which side of the halfway point I was looking at while assembling the tubes. With the smaller tubes centered and the larger tubes in place, it's time to sink a self-tapping screw through each of the larger tubes into the smaller tube. Before making holes, I always like to center punch my holes in advance. Try to keep things where I want them to be. The ratchet slides over the tube and secures with a couple of set screws. Next, the crank handle goes on with a single bolt. I did have to loosen the nut on the handle to square it up with the roller assembly. I tightened it back down with my impact gun. I apologize for the lighting here. A lot of the film that I took with my regular video camera just didn't come out in this project and was even worse than what's shown here. For this portion of mounting the tarp, simply lay out the tarp the way that it's going to be and then start by sending the self-tapper screws through the eyelets. I like to start at one side of the roller and work my way down, pulling tension as I go so that the tarp is taut and spreads evenly across the entire roller. For the final piece of this project, it's time to put in the crossbar at the end of the tarp. The tarp that I chose already has a sleeve for it to slide through, and the crossbar comes in 3 pieces. Unlike the roller, the largest piece of the pipe is in the middle, and it allows you to slide the 2 end pieces into it to adjust the length. It's held in place by 2 set screws on each side. You adjust it to the length you need for the trailer or dump body, tighten it down, and that part of the project is complete. I really like the way that this clips into the trailer and allows the tarp to hold in place. After that, all that's left is 2 grease fittings on the bearings, and the project is complete. This kit did come with a pull rope that could attach to the back of the tarp to help you pull it down into position. I don't really like this method because then you have to lash the rope into place. It also came with extra bungee cords for the eyelets, which is something that I'll hold on to and use as needed. Overall, I think that this project came out quite well and I'm happy with the tarp. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.